Okay, I give you a hug. You can do a virtual hug. Can you see it?
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. I'll put in the plate into the camera. The lens cap is on. I'll just pull up the dark slide and I'll turn off the light. Turn down the light, I'm sorry. So, and two things right now. So I have to get myself in position. Turn on the timer, 5 minutes. I pull the lens cap off now. That's it. So, yes.
The longest exposure I've ever been involved with.
But it's very calming, I think. After the first minute, it's really very calming, I think. So it looks really good. I show it to you. Maybe we have to move the camera a little bit for the second one. Can you see it?
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. I just give me a second. Put it in
That's
here.
really good.
It is. You know what? It looks good.
Does it?
Yeah, it was really good. We were really steady, my friend. I just have to move maybe a little bit more to the right, but it's super.
Yeah, I know, but don't worry about
No, it's fine. You know, this is perfect. It's sharp. Oh my God.
It's sharp?
Yeah, it is sharp. It's stick sharp.
It should be sharp. That's crazy.
Yeah, I show you. It's really good. I'm excited. Look. Can you see it?
No, I need some light on it. There you go. Oh, yeah. Yay!
Can you see it? Yeah.
Yes! It's perfect.
It's good.
It's very good.
This is not about a technical perfect wet blade. This is about building connections from many thousand miles away. overcoming obstacles and being there for each other. That's what it's about. And also the 5 minutes exposure is not just captured on an image. This 5 minutes is like a 5 minutes movie that captured our thoughts and much more on a wet plate. You know, because of the pandemic, there was a lot of stuff we couldn't do anymore right now, or we can't do anymore. But I won't let this get me down, and I also didn't want to wait, so I came up with this idea. And a lot of limits are only in our heads, so I had to figure out how to make this happen. And after I figured it out, I talked with Shane. I was so happy he was into it, and with this we could somehow meet the first time in real life, or it felt like that, and we could do a wet plate together. So this is how I came up with the idea somehow. And yeah, at this point I also want to say thanks to Pro Digital. It's a photography shop in Vienna. They lent me the Dedolite light head with the projector unit, and this made my life much easier for the project. You're gonna see it later. I'm happy there are shops like them still there where you can go there and get some more information about products than just online, and they can show you how they work. So I put the link to them in the description and also the link to the Dedolites. Yeah, and now I wanna have a short talk with Shane, so he can tell you guys, give me a second, can you guys what you think about it? And I switch here to the computer. Hey Shane, how are you doing?
Nice to talk to you, Marcus.
Yeah, nice to see you again, but it was somehow funnier on the big screen last time. So
I took over your wall.
yeah, you did. You actually did. It was a little bit scary to see the big face. So I have a question. What did you think the first moment when I told you about my idea about this shooting?
Well, obviously you and I have we've been friends for some time now, and I just love, you know, it was just another opportunity to collaborate, and I embraced it immediately. I want to say that I was up for anything that you had. You know, I figure, you know, it's supporting you and your work, and it's also a way for us to create together. So I was very excited. You know, I had done that Zoom conference, you know, 90-second exposure some months back during the pandemic, and so I had a little bit of an idea what you had planned, but you took it to a totally different level.
Yeah, I was, you know, it's just happened because I got this video projector from a friend. I helped him moving and he didn't have space anymore and said, do you have a need for that? I said, no, I'm not sure. But then at some point I figured maybe I have a need for it, you know, and so, yeah, but I will tell the viewers a little bit later about it because it's a long story, how I came to the idea. So my next question is, how did you feel during the 5 minutes exposure?
Well, I think the longest exposure I'd ever endured before was at European Collodion weekend. And I'm not remember, I can't remember who was taking the photograph. I had like 18 photographs taken of me over that weekend. But I think it was like a 1.5-minute exposure, which seemed like a long time. It was getting dusk and we were sitting on a bench. I remember that. And we had to sit there for a 1.5 minutes. So 5 minutes was, yeah, that's really pushing the envelope for anything that I'm usually 10 seconds in my studio. So 5 minutes, it was enduring, but you know, with the use of the head brace and just concentrating and just kind of relaxing. I mean, there was nobody else in the studio to bother me. So I didn't, it was just, I really felt like you and I had this close connective experience together. Like I was with you for that, you know, for that hour. I think we'd spent about an hour on the phone of doing that. I felt like you were with me. So I was constantly just looking at the monitor. That was you there, and then I could see myself. So I had feedback, and it was really good. So I didn't have any problems with the 5 minutes. It seems like a long exposure, but I like the fact that it's even, you know, it's a larger grasp of our life. It's 5 minutes of our life is on that plate, which is I really like that.
Yeah, that's what I gonna told the viewers before too. It's like I like the way you said it. It's like a 5 minute movie of us, like where we have all the thoughts and stuff. For me, it was the first maybe minute was a little bit strange, but afterwards it was just Like I said in the video, it was like relaxing, like meditating somehow.
Yeah, I just
for
kind
the
of
hug.
zoned out. I got in the middle of it, and you just realize, and then you lose track of time. You don't know, wow, how close. Then you start thinking, you know what I mean? At the end, I was thinking, well, we got to be approaching 5 minutes. So that 5 minutes became elongated. It became much longer than you would think 5 minutes is. So when you pay attention to time, I've always found that fascinating, that we're always rushing, though, as humans, we're always rushing, doing this and that, and tasking and tasking and tasking and tasking. And we lose so much time. If you're just in the moment, time can stretch itself out much longer than we, our normal experience.
Yeah, I totally agree. It was like I set the timer on my watch, and at the beginning I was waiting for it to come off. At some point I was just, I don't know, as you said, zoned out, and then it was vibrating, and we gotta go, we're finished. It was intense somehow, I would say.
And we're pushing the limit of the wet plate process to 5 minutes of plate drying that long. I mean, you can, it was in a controlled environment. I mean, I think if we would have had a 5 minute exposure outside, that could be kind of difficult if it was windy or hot or something like that, with the plate pot potentially drying. So that was on my mind too, is that, that plate is sitting in the, you have those thoughts, that plate sitting in the camera, and all the, me and you are very intimate with this process, so we know exactly what has to happen and what has to occur and everything that's occurring. And it did occur to me that this is a long time for that plate to be sitting in that camera capturing something.
What I try to do, that's a good thing you said that. What I try to do, I turned the heating down a little bit, not much, but anyway, I'm running around. I'm not getting cold there, and so. Yeah, I think that helped also a little bit, because I remember at the beginning I was shooting 4x5. I did a 4 minute exposure. I did an image of a flame, like of a candle or something, I'm not sure. And I saw the blade was drying. It was dark on one side already. So yeah, it worked out. I really liked it. So my last question, because I don't want to make it too long in this video today, is what are your thoughts about friendship and connecting to people these days?
Well, I've never been let down when it comes to people that I've met online. I mean, you and I are rather close with the videos and the other interviews that we've done in the past and so forth, that we keep in touch, rather regularly. For me, the most special part of the entire, this being involved with you, first of all, is I had no idea how far you were going to take this. Like you kind of pitched the idea to me, but I didn't take the time to think about how you were going to pull this off. And then it was just so much more complicated than I thought. But for me, the most rewarding part of this entire experience, and I'm being honest here, outside of the work itself, the actual plates, is that when it occurred to me that I was on your wall and I was about the size of you, and that I could actually give you a hug virtually, there was just something it was just something magical. For me, it made the day. It was the part where I said, no, turn around this way. And you turn toward, because the orientation is so weird. So I didn't know it when I turned left. I mean, everything's backwards, and it took me a while to figure it out. But then you turned around, and then I just raised my hands and I put my arms around you. And we should tell everyone that we've never met. So we're complete strangers in the physical world to this day. But, we've had conversations. We've been in video conferences numerous times together. Now we have a wet plate of us together. And we had this virtual hug. And that virtual hug was, I don't know, because I could see my screen. I could see myself go up to you and give you a hug. And it was just very surreal. So, and we were probably supposed to have met at ECW this year, right? There was going to be a possibility. So that was thwarted. That was thwarted by the pandemic. So we lost out on that opportunity. But here, somehow, magically, you came up with this crazy concept. And then that opportunity posed itself again. So I do really look forward to the real hug one day. But it seems like it's a bridge. You know what I mean? Like, this is a bridge to where, we started our online friendship, and now we have this bridge to that day when we're actually going to meet in person. And it's not going to feel like we're strangers at that point, I don't think, which is very, I don't know, it's not peculiar, but I'm aware of it, that is something different. And technology is allowing us and the marrying of this new technology and the old technology, the way the concept that you came up with is just absolutely brilliant. But for me, the best part was when I realized that I could give you a virtual hug. It was just like, yeah, that was it for me.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think about it, but then when I looked now on the video, you know, where I cut it already, the first part of the video, when I looked at it, it looks so cool, you know? It looks like, if you see it small, it looks like real, you know what I mean?
And then when I knew I was on your wall and I could that you were just doing your thing and that I could react with my camera and change the scene on your wall, you know what I mean? I was going real close, get my face, opening my mouth up. I was just trying to like with you. Because it just seemed like something, you know, you gave me this little gift, this little ability to be on your wall for a day. And wouldn't it be cool just to be we all see these little, you know, Zoom videos and stuff, and even on a computer screen, but it's not the same as when you're life size on a wall and you're walking around and interacting with people. Because I felt like we were interacting to a certain degree, which was really kind of fun. Because I would adjust my body, I'd see where you were at, and then I could figure out how to adjust my body. So there was minuscule adjustments on both sides of the camera, thousands of miles apart, instantly. And there was what do you think? There's maybe like a 1 or 2 second delay. There was some kind of delay, like when I would move, it would take.
It was under a second, I think. It was really under a second. It was not much. It was really little.
It was pretty
really
cool.
Cool.
It was real time. It was real time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really, really great. And I even tried, so you can see you through my computer screen or through my computer camera, and I can see us through the iPad I put on my large format camera. Otherwise, I couldn't see us, you know. The computer would be too far away, and you're gonna see it on the video then. And so we could adjust each other. Later, it was easier when my girlfriend came, so we had a second person who told me what's gonna happen. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Shane, thanks so much for your time again. And I'll try to finish up now the video we'll talk a little bit about the details and what I had to do to make this happen. But we talked already about the heating, for example, but there's a lot of other stuff I did. And yeah, one of these plates, or maybe two, because I have like the ones that didn't work out that great, like this one. Yeah, no, maybe I send you also one of the test plates.
It's up to you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just label them, number them, so that you know, the world knows. If someone sees my plate, they'll know that there's another one somewhere else, and if someone sees your plate, they'll know that the other one's somewhere else. It's like a pair, and they're brother and sister plates, and I like that idea very much.
Me too. I like the idea very much, and I think it's pretty cool because we are about like what 7,000 kilometers you're away or something like that. I'm not sure.
6 hours of time separates us, I think. Isn't it about 6 hours of time separates us? So yeah, I mean, we're not anywhere close, but we had this experience, and can you, looking at the plates, can you tell, is the illusion given away at all? I mean, in your
you know, it's because we were shooting on FaceTime, or it was, you know, blowing up a video that big makes you a little bit blurry. But if you look, give me a second.
Could it be considered like movement or not? I like the idea that it would give it away a little bit, because then you gets you thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it does. This is one of the test plates with the photo you sent me.
And
Yes.
I think it's a little bit sharper than the other one, because if you
look here.
Well, yeah. It would
It's a little bit sharper, but
but
not sure if this is the movement or it's just because we were streaming online. So I'm
it's
not
good.
sure.
They look really nice.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, it's not about a technical perfect picture. It's about the journey, and it's about being able to do that and feeling to stand beside you. And overcoming these strange times we live right now, where we should not, or here right now in Austria, we should not go outside, or not at the evening at least. So it felt like a great day with a lot of fun and with dancing.
To dance in your studio, so but my point is that it's good that it kind of there is a little bit, so you can you question the image. You know what I mean? It's good to you see it and you go, well, what's going on there? And then you start asking all the questions, and then look at all the technical details behind it to make that image. It's not about, it's really, you did a marvelous job. So I'm honored.
Thank you.
I'm honored. I can't wait to share this, your work with the world and what we're able to do together. And I'm just happy you chose me to be the one to participate.
I'm happy too, because we had so much fun, the dancing part. So the guys will see it later. And also, I encourage you guys, we will post at the end of the video, insert the whole 5 minutes we were standing there. So if you guys want to try that, just stand with us there, stand somewhere near a wall, stand for 5 minutes, focus on maybe some point in your room, and try to breathe very shortly, so like short breathes, so you don't move too much. It's really interesting. So I did it now for how many times? Six times or 7 times, something like that, with the test plates. And it's kind of wet plate yoga meditating stuff.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Most definitely. Do you think it's the first time it's ever been done? Have you done research?
It's a good question. No, I haven't. But for me, it's not so important. For me, it was important to just do it. I was not sure if somebody did a wet plate with a projector. I have no idea, to be honest. But it was just such a fun day, and it's the most important thing for me. And it was, I think, a pretty cool project to do.
Yeah, it definitely, and it definitely, all the people that practice wet plate are my brothers and sisters. I truly believe that. So there's this connection that this process brings us together, and I'm sure there's other things in this world that bring other people together, but this process here brings me together with so many wonderful people, and we immediately have a common ground. I immediately knew the struggles you were having.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, because you know what are the limitation of the process and how you can work around them, and I know what you mean. Every time I see a picture from somebody, and I know it's outside, or it was cold outside, or it was inside, and most people exactly know what's happening and what you're gonna have to do, so it's working out. And okay, Shane, I'm gonna go on with a video. It was good talking to you. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye. So now I want to tell you a little bit more about what I had to do to make this happen. First of all, I had to darken my studio, because a single light leak in a 5-minute exposure could be visible on the plate. So I have blinds in my studio, but they still would let in some light, so I covered up the whole windows. I showed a short image about that. As I mentioned before, I also turned down the heating a little bit, so the wet plate does not dry out. I'm not sure if it was really necessary, but it was just a thought I had, so I did it. I wanted to have Shane's background in my studio, and that's where things got tricky. As you saw, I used the projector on a grey wall to not overexpose the background and Shane. During the test shots, I thought the light of the projector is enough to get the right exposure on me too. It also looked the same on a digital image, the exposure of Shane and me, but the wet plate process theories was against me. It seems like the UV light sees it differently, so I knew I needed an additional light source to get the exposure right. I have this Hansel projector. It's for using on a special Hansel strobe. The problem with this was that the modeling light made an uneven light source on the wall, so I couldn't use that one. Then I tried it with my light blaster. The light blaster is a tool where you mount a lens in front of your tool. You can project images with it on a wall, but only with speed lights. So I used a flash lamp or a torch with it, and the light source was again uneven on the wall, and so I was out of luck with tools I had at home. Then I remembered a workshop I went, where the photographer used a Dedolight head, and I remembered that he projected something there. So I called my shop in Vienna, where I always buy my stuff, and I know they have Dedolights, and I asked if I can rent one. And before I rented one, I went to their shop, and Andreas showed me everything about the Dedolite, explained everything perfectly, showed me the projection kit, and after I saw the projection kit, I knew this is the right tool for me, and I knew it could help me to get the image I want with Shane on the wall. As soon as I got home, I made a gobo that looked like me. A gobo is a graphical optical blackout. It's just a piece of material that blocks the light. And with this, I made this gobo with a print that I cut it out. With this gobo, I could make a projection on myself that does not brighten up Shane and also does not brighten up his background. So here's the first image, how it looked like. And so the 5 minutes exposure was pretty long, but it was as short as I could get it. I used my Century 8x10 camera with Dallmayr 2B lens. The Dallmayr 2B lens is, by the way, a 3 lens. With the 8x10 camera, I could only shoot 13x18 centimeter plates because the camera would have been in the way of the projector for 8x10 plates. Using a longer lens would not have been possible to shoot on an 8x10 plate because the longer lenses I have are f4.5 or f6, and with these f-stops I would have an exposure time that is twice as much or even 4 times as much as we had, and with that we couldn't have done the exposure because then we would stand there for 20 minutes or something, so you guys can imagine it's not possible. As you could see, I used a timer on here on my watch to set this 5 minutes. I released the lens cap with a string that was squeezed in between the lens cap and the lens. Yeah, and then it was only us two and 5 minutes in front of my wet plate camera. I think many of you have seen the apron I was wearing, and I wear it in a lot of my videos. But I think only a few know where this apron came from. This apron is from my grandfather, who had a shoemaker shop in this house, and he was always wearing this apron. So this is kind of a piece of history for me, and I really like to wear it because it belongs to this house and our family, and it's perfectly that it is also on this wet plate. So now enjoy the outtakes, and I'll see you afterwards.
Yeah. Marcus is crazy.
What are you doing?
Muss ich rein? Muss rein?
You give me a hug. Okay, now I got you. Okay, I give you a hug. Okay, let's do a virtual hug. This must be the right height. Yeah, das sieht man eh nicht. Yeah, your feet look like from a hobbit right now, but they're not on the image anyway.
I want to be a hobbit. I am a hobbit.
Can you keep like that forever?
Yeah.
It's all on there. The iPad is on. Just let me see if my landscape construction is good. So I get the dark slide out. My gloves on the ground, my glasses in here. And I have to figure out the right stand again. I have to go in this direction. I think this is good. This could be good, right? Yeah. Okay, set the timer, 5 minutes, and That's it.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm not going to move anything here until you know it's good.
I think this will be great. You're still here? Thanks for watching, guys. So if you liked it, hit all the buttons down there, whatever fits for you, and what can I say? Thanks for watching, and I'll be back, guys. I stopped recording.
There was one other adjustment you wanted to make.
You know what? I just were standing on my glasses and they didn't break. How is this possible?
I don't have no idea.
No sound, they just popped back and it looked, there's nothing.